and I'm like, no.
It starts now, the fantasy trail. Welcome to the fantasy trail. It's our 10th year fantasy trail. I'ma say it loud and clear. Fantasy trail, welcome, let's go. It's fantasy trail, you know the flow. League rules, got advice for people all around the globe. I know you need it, we got it. We'll talk about players on all the teams, all the players. We'll talk about them. Eagles, Bills, Vikings, Cowboys, Browns, Panthers, everybody. Welcome to the fantasy trail. 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 Fantasy.
Welcome to the Fantasy Trail, Season 8, Episode 11.
I've always been really excited about the idea that there really isn't a song, and we've just been playing this.
That's what I was actually thinking. That's what it's funny that you mentioned it, because that really did just come into my mind, that you guys have just been screwing with me the whole time.
Buddy, I'll sing it to you tomorrow.
And that the one time you weren't here, Matt actually did play it, and I don't know. Listen, I get it.
It's quite an elaborate farce to go through, but
or that Matt has a way to play the song so others can hear it, and has a way to purposely not have it come to my computer. If that's the case, you've been found out today. Today's the day. Yes, you do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you would, but you're not.
I mean, that would be in your nature. You're like, that's not really nice. It's not nice, but it's so you.
Matt, you were mentioning.
But you know what Mike just did, though?
Oh,
he just proved that he does not listen to the Fantasy Trail.
Yeah, because you
hear it on the pod. If I'm on the show, I really don't. You go back and review it. I always listen. If I'm not on for some reason, I promise that I always listen to it. I don't always go back and watch it, but I do have a podcast.
Do you subscribe
on the podcast app? Yes, I do.
Okay. Phew.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
We could be doubling our subscribers if you want.
I mean, yeah, but my subscription has a thing where it'll put it there, but it doesn't automatically download it, so it doesn't get filled up or anything. So I don't know. Does that count?
Understood. So Tamala, you named the episode "Turning Back the Clocks." Where outside of the general daylight savings, what are we referring to here?
I actually scored. I scored the high score this week. I think this is like the first time in like 2.5 years.
Come on.
No, that's not true. No.
Man,
you were last year. You were.
Nope.
Okay.
Not.
I brought it up, and it was immediately shot down.
Yep,
okay.
nope.
Yeah, last year I think I had like 8 of them, and Joel Parker had 3. So like we took 11 out of the 14 or something like that.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
A lot of closes. A lot of close, but not quite there. So I actually
Congrats,
won that. It was close. I mean, maybe I should play against Marvin Harrison, and Cardinals might actually be a playoff team.
Honestly, the win doesn't matter. The points were great. You both benefited from it, as we'll discuss shortly. So,
and in another league, I was forced to play him. So, and there's some really cool matchups here that we're going to get into, and it actually helped me get a win in another league.
Speaking of that, you want to look at some matchups here?
Yeah,
look at some here, man.
We will start right there. I did defeat Michael Thomas, 158 to 154. And you know what I thought was very interesting about this matchup is both our defenses lost.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been the difference.
Would have been enough.
The Colts, lost their third game of the year.
Lions and the Lions.
Second for the Colts, I believe.
Yep. Oh, they're 7-2 now. Yeah, they're 7-2 now.
Yep.
So.
Also interesting, Tamala, you, Michael Thomas, and Jake, which by record prior to this week were the 3 lowest teams, not the one in our fantasy, but by record, 3 lowest teams, 3 highest scores, you highest score, Michael Thomas and Jake, dead on tie, 154 and 2200s.
Really?
Pretty strange.
Yeah.
Pretty strange. But
that's very strange. Wouldn't that have been crazy, man?
Yeah, right. But
Like
you guys have
a tie with points to the hundredths.
Now, it would not have been this close if you took out the final 3 minutes of the Chicago-Cincinnati game.
well.
I mean, that
But they
was a
don't
pretty
do that.
crazy end of the game, man. That
It was.
pretty
No,
big to do, but
it was a crazy end of the day. Donald just keeps on his amazing streak.
Yeah.
it's one of these concerns where you just think with Hubbard, and I know it's a sunk cost fallacy, but like they gave him the money. I mean, 40 was it 40 million? And you gave him the money, and then you're able to just sign another guy and fill it in. I don't know. It makes you say not to pay a running back.
I just can't stress this enough. All that mattered was the points. I think Michael Thomas is just as happy with this. If he'd won with 132, I think he would have been bummed.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, I think
both of you.
It absolutely was. I think the big thing here is, would you rather have Mark Andrews or David Njoku or Jawan Johnson?
I think I'd take Andrews in that one. And you know what? I don't even think I'd hesitate at all.
I don't think
I just see Andrews as more upside now that Jackson is back. And the other ones, I think that you're getting what you got. Like that's as good as it's going to get. That's
your trade bias. I don't think I'd even worry about it because you got Goddard and you're probably playing him from here on out.
That's what I was. I have 3 tight ends. I tried to make a move.
Tamala did try to make a move, but had already received the trade from Jake, and we just had to wait for the players to unlock.
I understand, but Tamala, I don't think you need that.
So I kind of played him. I was like, "Oh man, I'll take a look, and maybe we'll get something going."
Yeah.
Well, I think Goddard's
what I lied.
Goddard's better than all of them.
I agree with that. All right, I agree with that. I agree that Goddard is.
All right. Colin beat Joel and Parker 150 to 143.
Just take a quick look here.
I mean, it's freaking Drake London.
I don't even know who that is. Dyke.
Oh, yeah. Guy for the Titans that had looked really interesting the last couple weeks, had 8 targets and 4 targets, had a 17 and a 16 in back-to-back weeks. Parker made the move. He came up with it, came to me with it. It wasn't the guy I was looking at, but he seemed to be trending up against 2 good defenses, and then against the Chargers, had 3 targets and 1 catch.
For my cousin Rachel, just to clarify here, he did have a return touchdown.
He sure did.
This would have made the score, although it wouldn't have been enough with the 6.
Yeah, would have lost by 1.
Which way?
Oh yeah, man.
Which way did they vote?
I don't know, and I don't know if it necessarily changes it, because
but it's interesting when it's the one who it affects. So
I think it's the first one we've seen this year where somebody actually played the guy.
Although you know what, I think the Rashid going to Seattle, that's great for him.
Look, they're a more successful team. It'll definitely open up the field, the downfield game. What it also does is it's hard to even think about it, but that allows Smith-Njigba to be in the slot a little bit more, because you're going to, of course, keep Shaheed on the side, opening up the field. I think it actually helps Smith-Njigba.
Well, I think it just helps to go to a functioning offense.
Oh, sure. By the way, a really good-looking team who I don't know. If you would have asked me at the beginning of the year, I would have said absolutely not. They're a run team, defensive team, and they looked so good. They look so good on Monday night.
Yeah.
Or Sunday night.
Tamala, I think that things are looking up a little bit for Joel and Parker. If that move helps Kincaid, maybe looks like he's back and healthy. There's 2 guys they can slot in for, let's say Dyke and Keon Coleman. The squad looks a little better. They are very, star dependent. They always have. But if they can find those other role players to kind of supplement that star, and the stars have the good game like they did, they put up the 143. And, I think they're through most of their buys. They have Worthy out, I think, this week. And
do you think it's interesting that they held on to their kicker and defense?
Like through the buys, you mean?
Yeah.
Well,
We're
McLaughlin's
just
been
people who
pretty
change
good.
them all the time.
Yeah, I think the Eagles D is probably.
That's probably a good one. Okay, let's
No, I was
especially
going to
with our
say
scoring.
that's the one where you're going to get your wins. You know that
Okay.
they're not going to show up in the same way because they don't
Oh,
account for
Jamala
the
doesn't like that. He doesn't like, you're calling it. I mean, if we all knocked on wood right there, it'd be fine.
I mean, look, they're very boom or bust. They have 3 games over 12 points.
Well, yeah, but they have more than that because of the wins. That's why I was saying I think they're worth keeping. Yeah. They're worth keeping, but
are they
they're
1 win? Are they 1 loss or 2 losses, Matt?
2.
They're not a dominant turnover defense in every game in a way that some of these other ones are, but they're worth keeping.
I'm going to tell you, man, you start really looking at turnovers, and I think there's a whole bunch of luck that comes in. Or maybe if your offense can run up the score a little bit and you have the team trying to air it out, putting a lot of points on there. But I always think the turnovers are always just a roll on the dice.
Yeah. But, I do think with Phillips, they'll get some more pressure.
Okay.
And, they've done a lot to address their second cornerback. So, I think better days for their defense.
Certainly makes it interesting.
Ravens have an easy schedule from here on out. So I think kind of playing matchup, if they keep both of those, after this week against Minnesota, it's Cleveland, Jets, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. Like there's 4 or 5 matchups.
Definitely might give them a couple looks with Jackson back. Yeah.
Could get those wins. So. But for Colin, I think he's got to be thrilled there. He kind of had a little bit of a down slope those last 2 weeks, even though he won. So this was a good little uptick. He continues to really just benefit from some of these explosive games. He had the Gibbs game a couple weeks ago. He gets this ridiculous Drake London game where he's just catching absolutely everything.
Did you guys watch that game at all?
Yeah.
It's just such like such domination. It's what every Bills fan really just wants for Josh Allen. Like he was so dominating.
His hands were just amazing at the goal line.
Incredible.
His team's very a lot of his players are very boom or bust. Even Gibbs this year. The one thing with Gibbs last year is he didn't have a single game under 10 points last year, and he's already. I believe this is his second game under 10 this year.
2 of the last 3, sandwiched in between that 37.
Yep. Warren's been hot and cold.
Yeah, and it was just one of these games where I don't know. Like if you would have asked me if I just a betting man, I would have never thought that a JJ McCarthy just coming back would be successful against the Lions at all.
And it is just kind of funny to see. I mean, I know he's a Browns fan, but it's funny to see 3 Browns players on someone's bench.
I mean,
wait, 3?
1, 2, 3.
Because of the IR spot. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're counting that. Okay.
Gotcha.
He's a fan. He's a fan. I get it.
All right.
Hold a homer.
Next up, we have Jake. Defeated Rachel 154 to 142.
This is where the frustration comes in for all these teams that were looking to get points is that, you guys are all in the same boat. You, Michael, Jake, Rachel, Colin, Joel, they're all in the 140 to 150 range.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't change. Do you have your playoff spreadsheet, JT?
We'll talk about it.
Oh yeah. Just checking on you, buddy. Just making sure you're not slacking. That's all.
Don't you worry, buddy.
That's it, man. That's it. I'm not giving you any trouble.
Danny Dimes was a big letdown, almost as much as the Doomsday. Although he did have that touchdown catch that was called back.
All right, but how does this happen? How does the Doomsday have an average? If I'm doing a real quick math in my head, I'd probably say 7 or 8 targets a game. And he suddenly drops to 3 in a game where the team scores 47 and doesn't make a catch?
Is there something that Caleb Williams is looking at here that I don't get it at all?
I don't get it either.
Sometimes I think, and I see this with the Eagles with A.J. Brown, it's like sometimes they try and force him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And,
the Bills used to do it with Diggs, by the way.
And, I think sometimes that when that player's out and you can spread the ball around, it actually makes the offense work a little bit better.
The Bills with Diggs. I'd say that again.
Yeah.
They look better when everyone eats.
Brutal one for Adunze, brutal one for Kamara on the other side.
Yeah.
They each had just an
Well, those two
absolute
kinda
bust. And
balance
I
out.
think Kamara is one of those guys you have to wonder, is he worth playing anymore?
Wait a minute. You guys were telling me to trade for him last week.
Well, we're giving you poor advice
We're
on
trying to
purpose
have you
here.
do worse.
You know what, JT? I'll give you this. It's been a 3-game skid and even before that, it hasn't been anything compared to what we've seen in prior years, especially with I don't know, just the looks in the passing game.
100%, man. I don't think he's
3-2-1 on receptions. And Jay, there were games last year, if I remember correctly. Jay, didn't he have like 10 or 12 receptions in a game?
Yep.
So here's a question. When was the last time a fantasy team with a player who scored 43 points lost?
Yeah. I mean, the Odunze thing made it be 22 each.
Yeah. And you're just looking down there, a whole bunch of single-digit scores.
Yeah. Rachel got the defensive points too, and it was an interesting matchup because the two teams were playing against each other.
That is interesting.
So I was looking at it because it was right down to the wire, tied at 15, and I knew the game looked like it was, not going to be all that close at the moment because Bowers hadn't played yet. But as it turned out, that 5 almost got Rachel, within semi-striking distance. But really interesting to see two teams going against each other in fantasy in real life.
And because as much as you took the loss here, you've got to feel better about Bowers. I mean, it was such a high pick, and it hasn't paid off for anything. And just for him to come out and put up a score like that, you've got to feel great.
100%. Like, that's what you were wanting them to do by sitting him. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's like he was so great that first week, and then all of a sudden he tweaks his knee in the second game, and they tried to play through it, and it was like, nope, get him healthy.
Nope.
As soon as they did, look how unbelievably dominant he was.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible player.
Yep. All right. Next, we have Brian lost to KC 101-130.
Uh-oh.
This isn't good for Brian either. Just as we're trying to buy for the bye week. We'll see it when JT brings up the playoffs, but this one hurts.
I mean, to be fair, we knew this was going to be a brutal week for Brian. Barkley, the Irving, who might have been back, Judy, Judkins. Like that's rough.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So, interestingly enough, we were talking about Adunze. Do you see the Metcalf game in a similar vein? Like, they put up 27 against one of the better defenses. And so you think, their best and only receiver?
I heard something like Aaron Rodgers is throwing the shortest passes. If you just look at the ball in the air, he's throwing the shortest passes. So if they're playing him tight, which is what I'm guessing happened.
Yeah. Well, they're
not doing any downfield passing. I heard it was pretty significant. I don't have the statistic right in front of me, but Rodgers is just not putting any air. He's just getting the ball out as quick as he possibly can.
As I'm looking at it, Tamala, I think Brian's going to be fine because he gets 3 stud running backs back this week. Like, all 3 of those guys quickly plug in for Spears and probably Kelsey and, let's say, Brian Thomas. But where my worry comes in for Brian is there's a level of mediocrity to some of these wide receivers because of Brian Thomas being such a bust. Mm-hmm. No one would have ever known that. I would have drafted him. There's no criticism here. But DK, Brian Thomas, Deebo Samuel, Judy, Downs, all these guys are right in that 10 to 12 range unless they bust for a TD. Waddle's probably the best of the bunch lately. And that's
he get traded.
I know that feeling. So here's a question though. Would you play Judy this week against the Jets?
No Sauce Gardner? I think I might give it a try.
No, I wouldn't. He's never even scored double digits except for the first week.
All right, we're going to bring up.
Even in a week when he had 13 targets, he didn't score double digits.
His stats are pretty bad, man.
His stats are awful.
So-
I say no way.
And what fantasy football show doesn't love Browns talk?
There's a lot of it.
Why was Flacco so bad at the beginning of the season?
I'm gonna say this though. Wasn't there something like this happening last year where all of a sudden it'd have a big week and then all of a sudden it would be nothing?
No, I mean Njoku with Flacco had huge weeks every time they played together.
Okay.
Judy was having huge weeks with Flacco every time they played together.
When? Last year?
Yeah, or when
Yeah,
was it?
not this year. They never had anything this year.
Yeah, not this year. Not this year.
I will say this much about his downs and maybe where you'd want to put it in. Pittman did not practice this today.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah,
And
Downs
then,
have been good.
Downs goes right in there.
Yeah, but
Downs have been good.
It's
But-
just like, part of me thought, well, maybe Flacco's just old and age finally caught up to him. But, obviously what he's doing in Cincinnati, and the weapons in Cincinnati are much better.
Yeah,
than
I was
they
going to
were.
say, I mean, if you get Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, it turns out it really helps instead of Jerry Jeudy and,
But they did have that connection last year. So
they did.
And
They
everyone
just had
said
a
a
better
couple
line around
games
him.
he really did put up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
But Brian, if I'm wrong, am I wrong? Didn't he have a connection with Judy last year, where Judy actually put up some big games with Flacco?
a couple weeks of it, I believe, but I don't know. Brian's got some decisions. Ferguson's come back down to earth a little bit. The running backs are going to solve themselves, but those flex spots, it feels like a lot of guys where you're just kind of hoping that the matchup works out the way you do. You're just not feeling super solid about that second.
And Brian, I'll throw you a compliment here. You didn't reach on any of them when you drafted them. I remember, it seems like they made sense.
Yeah,
Your Brian Thomas.
It's not the team construction. It's just the way they perform.
Your Debo. Yeah, it's just that they're just not showing up. I mean, we're going to get to my team. It's going to be the same thing.
Casey, on the other hand, I think he's got to start to be a little nervous here. His team has really kind of started to plateau. Yes, he won, but he only would have beat Brian and you, Mike, and that's it. So he just happened to get a good matchup. He got very lucky. It's just not what he was hoping for. Some of these guys that were absolutely dominating, like Amon-Ra, are either just doing okay or not as much. Cowboys QB took a little hit. Yeah, Pickens dropping out. The CeeDee Lamb's back. And there's not like a ton of help on his bench. I don't see a lot of help on the way. So this is what he's got. And, Myers in Jacksonville, I don't know if I feel super great about that. Shakir
still
kind
isn't
of
using still isn't utilizing the IR spot.
Yeah, God forbid he does. Kittle, meh. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be more worried if I were Casey than if I were Brian.
Could happen to a better guy.
Absolutely. All right, final matchup.
I love you, buddy. Love you.
JT against Scarano.
Game of the week. Game of the week.
How could it be?
JT defeats Scarano 132 to 101.1. So Scarano went from the high score of a 213 last week
Right.
to the low score of 101 this week.
Insane.
And guys just not showing up, man. Single digits from Jonathan Taylor. I mean, Pittman had a good game. Jefferson meets his projection, and everyone else just absolutely awful. JT did ask me an interesting question. He just said, was there a consideration towards using my cousin's strategy? For any point did I say, should I play? And I told JT, it didn't cross my mind for a second. Sorry if I said Patrick Mahomes or Caleb Williams. We mean Bears and Chiefs team quarterback. Just because I know this gets people in a tizzy here, and I don't mean to be doing it.
People seems, I don't know, person.
Personally.
I had something interesting.
That would have been the difference. You would have won.
It just, but if I told you it just didn't cross my mind, and you think it makes sense,
can't.
it's so easy to sit here and be like, well, you should have. You know what I mean?
I mean, Mahomes looked so good the week prior.
Yes.
Williams is so hot and cold.
Look, before the 42, we have an 11 and a 4.
Right. It's
That's what I was walking into.
Yeah, and if you play him, he'll put up an 11 or a 3.
I'm lucky.
Interesting thing from my end here. I did not have a great QB game, a fine QB game.
No.
But if you remove my quarterback, I did not score a touchdown.
Really? At all?
None.
I'm looking. I'm checking.
And so without a great QB game, to put up a 132 without a touchdown is very strange.
All right. I got you, man. I like it, man.
Yeah.
Jay, look,
I don't like that. My team is not very good.
We don't like it. All right.
You did have a touchdown on your bench.
Oh, goody. Are those counting now?
but you know what? Derrick Henry looked a lot better.
He looked fine.
Yeah.
He looked fine.
Look.
Still got stuffed at the
certainly-
1 yard line again.
I agree,
Yeah.
but it certainly is night and day now that Jackson is back. It
Yeah,
completely
of
opens
course.
up. I mean, the Baltimore offense, it's like just watching them the other night. It's like it just shows you. It's like a new team.
You know, JSN's still doing JSN things.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
It's
know what
great.
I thought was interesting? I thought the Cardinals running back usage.
So frustrating. And then Bam made 2 great catches back to back, and I go, all right, maybe they'll start to use him out of the backfield and never cut the ball again.
No.
I didn't need it, but like you're just wanting that guy again, just like with Brian.
Yeah.
You want to solidify your
And-
flex. I don't feel good about any of them.
And you've got to like Brissett being in there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
do.
have any players on the Cardinals, it's better that it's Brissett.
Well, I don't know. I'm trending in the wrong direction. I think Tamala, you'll pass me by next week.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know about that. All right. So speaking of Bam Knight, you spent $40 on him.
Let's get
on the
him.
waivers, dropping the Bears D. You know, Jake bid 13.
I never know.
Michael Thomas bid 9. Scarano bid 8, and Brian bid 4.
Just to kind of.
Well, I'm going to give hats off for that cool transition where you moved right into the offers report. Hats off, brother. That was good.
we're reaching the point of the season where it's either use it or lose it, right? Like there
I
aren't going to
agree.
be that many opportunities, and I'm at the point where if I don't start getting points, I'm done, and I'm trending in the wrong direction. So I definitely took a flyer. I tried to ensure that I definitely got him, which clearly I comfortably did. And he had really trended in the 2 weeks before that to be the one to get the most carries. And then, of course, that went completely the other way. Now, 11, 14, 9 wasn't nothing, but I would have thought he would add a lot more, especially because they were up against the Cowboys. So it's probably a waste of money. But at this point, both of the moves I made were like, hey, let's hope I get somebody that can put some points up.
Oh,
Yeah,
you made another move? That's right. You spent $25 on
Yep.
Kareem Hunt.
There you go.
With
And-
Pacheco being out, I think that's reasonable.
And you outbid no one.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Listen, sometimes we're just doing it so other people can't have them.
Well, you know what? I have Broussard on my bench, and honestly, I was very disappointed with the usage of Hunt. They used him much more than I thought they were going to, and I was hoping I was going to have another steal in my
You
bench.
thought that they were going to have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which I didn't know he was still in the league.
I mean, it came off the practice squad. So, yeah, two back-to-back weeks where Hunt looks like he's good, and then I'm ready to put him in, and they go on a bye. Pacheco will probably be back after that.
Now,
I mean, he did score a touchdown, and you were saying that your team wasn't getting a touchdown. You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Casey had to drop the number 3 defense, the Bucks, to add a kicker for $20.
I don't think he understands it. Would be how I would describe
I think
it.
that's a mispronunciation. I don't think he cares.
Okay. I mispronounced understand.
If only he had a way to make an extra spot on his bench.
Where he could have spent nothing.
Not even like, okay, if you look, you want Jesse Bates, that's fine. You spend your money, like you said. It's either use it or don't. You know, you're not taking it with you the next season.
100%. But what kicker is worth it? There's no kicker that you know is going to be good.
But like, who's his defense now? Like, who does he have on defense now?
He is the Chargers.
Chargers.
They're
Mediocre.
15th?
Not a good defense. Definitely matchup dependent.
Yeah. So I mean, I know they're on a bye, but man, that's rough. All right. Parker, picked up.
Made an entrance. They made an entrance though, and are participating a bit more here.
Yeah, well,
right?
they spent $15 on Shamir Dyke, like you said. Glad to see them having it. Brian spent $5 on the Jaguars D, which Parker tried to pick up for $3.
Okay.
Rachel picked up the Broncos defense for $4, and they are the 4th ranked defense. Brian tried to claim the Broncos defense for $2. Scarani, you picked up the Packers D for $3.
They didn't against
Brian
Carolina
tried to pick
at
up the
home.
Packers
That didn't
D.
work.
And
I say it's not my week.
Jake,
But I mean, Tamale, you want to talk about how this waiver wire thing is like you're crapshooting when your defense and kicker. Like you just mentioned the Jaguars, who ended up with a 9, and then the Broncos, who ended up with a 10. 2 pretty good scores.
Yeah.
And then so the next day when Parker didn't get any of those, he picks up the Ravens, who ended up with a 16.
I'll tell you this, Jay. I'll tell you this. Kickers and defenses have both been discussed as potential places to cut.
Yeah.
They are, but
listen, I think defenses is great now that we have the win thing.
Yeah, I think it helps.
Changer.
I think it helps. I think there's at least strategy, a lot more to it.
And to think I thought we should have abandoned it when I found out that you had to add the score. I was like, I don't know about that. And you know what? I really like that we had.
Yeah, it's no more work for you.
And the biggest move of the week, Michael Scarano trades Garrett Wilson for Mark Andrews.
Blockbuster. Look, Jay and I were discussing it. It was just an area of need. It was abandoned team quarterback. I had a very distinct area of need with Tucker Kraft going on IR.
Oh, yeah.
Just awful. And Wilson has just been inconsistent, is what I would say. Look, if you actually look at the scoring, if you actually want to look at the scoring, Wilson has had more times where he's scored more in general. I like to think that Andrews might be getting some more looks with Lamar Jackson. I think it was a fair trade.
No, I think it was a fair trade. I think Wilson's a better player. The Jets are a hot mess, and only getting messier.
I mean, I've even heard there's even been talk of the Jets of Glenn leaving like halfway through, like they might fire him now. And like, remember how they used to give coaches like 3 years?
Yeah,
they gave this dude like 8 games,
which is a
crap.
It's crazy. That's absolutely insane. I mean, I don't think that's a good sign. I mean, I think that the days of defensive coordinators getting head coaching positions, it's not going to be fewer and far between.
I'm interested. I think you had the team to do it. Wilson wasn't playing for you very much. It definitely makes your life actually a little easier by removing a potential decision now that we're almost through the buys.
He was one of the latter ones in the flex position that I
think you both benefited out of this. I think it was one of those real trades where both teams can come out and say they're happy.
Do you mean it was an absolute blockbuster trade of the year?
Would you have preferred one of his other tight ends more?
He kind of got me on Andrews with Jackson being back, and that he came out and immediately scored 2. He caught Andrews. He caught Andrews hot, but with Jackson out, I mean, like he becomes a pedestrian tight end no matter what. I don't know. We'll see.
Only 2 catches.
I'll tell you this: your tight ends who are available is next to nothing. So I mean, like I kind of had to make a move to be competitive.
I mean, he had the first 2 games with Jackson, and he scored 1.5 and 1.4.
But then just came out just hot right there, man. I don't know.
But just hot was 2 catches.
It was 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, but you can't be depending on that. That means he has 4 catches in 3 games with Jackson.
All right. So Scarano, this week, after Andrews puts up like a 4, and you want to look at some other tight ends, you come look at my bench.
I'm always open. I'm always open for business, man. I'm
I don't know, buddy.
I don't like all your fishing expeditions, but
Scarano, from what I hear, a lot of the blockbusters are closing. Take that.
Blockbuster, man. It's going to be insane. It's going to just be insane.
All right, you fellas ready to look at some playoffs?
I am.
Let's look at it. Love it.
All right. As always, I try and find a little gimmick to do for the comments. But before we get to that, I am going to kind of just slide a few things over and get that out of the way so that it's not visible just yet. We'll just keep an eye on the other things, which is standings, playoffs, and etc.
All right. And you're not sharing your screen yet, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm moving some stuff out of the way because I don't want you guys to see what we're looking at just yet. And then I'll do a zoom.
A slow reveal is what we're talking.
There we go. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and get it up and show you. There we are. Okay. As always, I think it's interesting to kind of compare from the week before. Whoever it was, Tamala, I think it was you who said, was there even any movement? Yes, there was. If you remove the last 4 squads, which all stay the same, if you take a look at the first 6, watch from 9. It was Scarano, Casey, Brian, Colin, Rachel, Michael. It is now Casey, Scarano, Colin, Brian, Michael, Rachel. Like all 6 of them changed. Every single one of those spots changed. So Casey took back over first. Scarano, you dropped to second. Colin is in third. Brian has dropped all the way to fourth, which is about to be very interesting when we take a look at points in a minute. Michael vaulting all the way up to fifth. Now 50 points ahead of others, really in a good spot right now and trending up. Rachel in a very good spot as well. She increased her lead over Joelle and Parker. I think it was 32 last week, if I remember correctly. No, 38, excuse me. So I apologize. Stayed right around the same at 37. It was increased her lead over me. That's what it was. Joelle and Parker are now 37 points out. Not a huge difference there. I'm down 49, and then Tamala and Jake both making moves. Tamala, especially you, vaulting right back into it, only down 59. Jake, still not exactly what I'd call into it, but, hey, he improved by 12 points, so he's looking to get better. Pretty interesting. Brian is definitely the one that I would be keeping the most eye on because if you watch his trend, it's going in the wrong direction. Second place there, third place there, fourth place here. He's just slowly been dropping down every week. And I think even bigger than that is the next thing that we're going to look at, which is
his point situation.
Yeah, let's take a look at this right here.
Okay.
I think this is interesting. What I did was I charted the last 3 games. And I charted the last 3 games looking at wins, loss, but also points per game. And the red and the green will make sense in a minute because it's not directly connected to points or to losses, excuse me. But if you look at what we got here, there's some teams up top, both Casey and Brian, that have really been struggling. 1 win between them in the last 6 games and 2 of the lower points per game, only me being worse, of all the league. So if you take a look at those there are some teams definitely still trending up. And Scarano, look at your points per game, even with a dud.
Even with with 100.
Michael Thomas.
Go ahead, Jake.
Great points per game for Michael Thomas with 2 wins as well. Very good points per game for Colin with 3 wins. Rachel, excellent, very nice points per game. Doesn't always translate to wins, but she's looking for points. Joelle and Parker, interestingly enough, 140. Tamala, you're right there with him at 139. Jake, same thing with 141. There's only been 3 squads that have been really struggling. Casey only 1 win with a 125. Brian, no wins with 118. And me sneaking 1 lucky win with 117. So kind of interesting to see the trends of some of the top squads. Casey somehow remaining in first with those last 3 games is pretty wild.
It is. Yeah, it's interesting.
So the reds and the greens, that actually came from this. What I did was I compared it to their points per game for the season. So if you look at the record there, you'll see that our league is very evenly split between 6-3 and 3-6. But the points per games, I went ahead and put it green if over the last 3 they've averaged more than they had for the season. And then I put red if it was lower. And Casey is 22 points below his average for the season. Brian 16 points below, me 15 points below. And then you got squads like Scarano, you've been 18 points better. Colin, 1 point better. Michael, 15 points better. Rachel, 4 points better. Joel Parker, 6 points better. Tamala, 8 points better. And Jake, 15 points better. So I think if you're in green, you're at least feeling good that you're trending in the right direction in the last 3. And that's tougher to do when there's been bye weeks in those 3. And there were some weeks in the beginning of the year where there weren't.
It's very interesting. It's cool just to see which ones where you think like you see a Casey and you're like, but his team is doing well and he retook first place. But then you actually start to look at some of the numbers here. I mean, you were kind of down on his team before. I'm wondering if some of it came from this.
Sure. This was a big piece of it. As I look at it and see, like, he's just not performing well, and it's been 3 straight weeks. Like, it's not like we're just looking at the 1 week. You know, I'm looking for a trend here.
It is. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, it's been a rough one for me, but one little small thing that would have been very cool. I was mentioning this earlier. Joel and Parker played Casey this year, and they lost to him. It was early in the season, and if that result had flipped, our league would have been perfectly evenly split, with half the teams being 6-3 and the other half being 3-6, which I know has never happened.
Bizarre. That's incredibly bizarre.
Yeah.
And especially it becomes so interesting, especially with our points situation, with how we set up our playoffs and how that is going to affect everything in those last 2 spots.
Yeah, because the biggest issue, if you look at these average per games, that kind of tells you, like, if you rank it by the average per games, that's obviously points. So you start doing that and you go, oh, okay, you know, Casey and Scarano are still very good. They're up near the top with their points scored. Right after that, you go, oh, Colin is pretty safe. Mm-hmm. But then if you look at what's next, it goes Michael, Rachel, and then Joel and Parker are right in line with where Brian is. So if Brian were to, you know, let's say lose 1 more game and Joel and Parker were to win, his points thing suddenly becomes very interesting.
He's right in the
his record is great, but his point total has been trending down. And that's also why I feel like I'm kind of screwed, is that my point total is bad. I'm trending in the wrong direction and my record's bad. Like, Tamala, I feel a lot better about your squad than I do about mine, even though I'm 10 points ahead of you.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. So let's get to Brian. You know, yes, Brian, I did mock you for adding tight ends to your bench. And Brian,
I said nothing to you, buddy.
You were
maybe
ahead of me, and so I thought I'd copy your strategy. However, now looking at this, maybe that wasn't the right choice. Yeah, we do know you are in trouble, but you are absolutely right, and at least you don't average 117 points over the last.
Yeah, you're lucky I didn't go to decimal points, Brian.
So
great work, by the way, JT. Great work.
You know, I think what would have been real interesting is, like, I know you use the overall average for the week, but what was Casey's average over the first 6 weeks? Because it was probably closer to, like,
it's high. It's high as the second highest.
I mean, you can kind of do the math on that. It's probably like
high.
160.
Yeah, probably like 160. So, like, I mean, it's really even a bigger difference than what it was.
And also, just to clarify with Casey, he does have the second lowest points against, helping him get these wins.
Yeah, Casey got really lucky that he played against Brian.
Yeah, he is the second most points scored. Like, I don't really care.
He caught Brian on a stupid bye week and got himself a lucky win. He would have lost to almost anybody else in the league, and it would have really made things a lot more interesting, because if he's 6-3 right in that mix, and you know, Brian was jumped up, it would be a similar conversation in reverse.
Game changer.
Whoever's in the top spot is not exactly thrilled with where they are, but they're still feeling great about having 7 wins. Casey is the Colts.
Okay. And then plus it would I mean, I know it's always fun to play if the season were to end today, but it would be absolutely fascinating that would have to go to points for the bye week.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it'd be awesome. I don't think that's ever happened.
You'd have it right now.
Maybe it has, though. I don't know.
I feel like it has. I feel like it definitely has.
Okay. Okay, sure.
But if you look at it here, the trend has been interesting. Casey and Brian had it week 9. Scarano and Casey had it. Now Casey and Scarano. There has not been any, people staying in the same spots. The bottom stays the same, but the top is moving a lot.
It's interesting.
Well,
I dig it, man.
I, for one, hope it continues to move.
Well, I mean, Tamala, you're 56 out, then you were 75 out, now you're down to 59 out. You're you're moving.
You know,
you're
and
moving
Matt,
right tonight.
just to give you some perspective. Take my score, subtract it from your score. It's what would it be? 56 points that you moved compared to me. It can easily happen, Matt.
But like
Yeah,
I said,
sure.
it was really rough putting up the high score and then not moving that much.
Yeah. Hey, Brian just had that to add, which we were just saying that's a really big matchup, and that is week 11. Ooh.
Is that the game of the? Oh,
well, that's next week. Next week.
That's next week.
Right?
Yes.
Or is that this week?
You're correct. You're correct.
Next week.
But I'm saying it has a lot of potential for game of the week, and it's hard, Brian, for us to give out a game of the week that doesn't involve us. Just because
Brian,
we're kind
don't
of
listen to him.
self-absorbed.
Mike gives out game of the week like it's a Halloween candy.
So you know what?
No, it's like where you come and get the full bar because they know you. It's more like that, JT.
Okay.
So one thing that's a little bit interesting is it's week 10. So I know I'm playing Casey again. I'm assuming you two are playing your week 1 matchups again.
Yeah. Not the one that I like to play.
Who you got? Colin?
I've got Colin, and as we've looked at historical data, he brings his absolute A game against me. I can't explain why. I just don't beat the dude.
I get Michael Thomas, and I get him.
He beat me week 1, just to clarify.
No Cincinnati, so I'm catching him at a good time. No Chasing Brown.
So I mean, I know I don't care about wins, and it's looking at I'm just looking at points.
Yep.
But at the same time, like it just
it always feels better to win.
And I mean, I'm pulling for you here, man.
And it's terrible to it's terrible to play someone who's been dominating like Casey. I know we just talked about how
even though it's been a little bit of a skid and we're not quite noticing.
But
Tamala, I know we'll see this in a minute. You're catching him at a good time. He's got Pickens and he's got Cowboys quarterback on a bye. He is not a deep team. Not a deep team.
It looks like his team is set.
Oh, it's set, but he's got a 49ers quarterback, which is a little bit of a question. That's a spot that's put up 11, 5, 20, and 17 in the last 4 weeks. I don't know. I'd be a little nervous if I were him.
Yep.
Take him. I'd love to see you take a win from him, man.
Get him.
All right.
Go get him.
So let's go ahead and look at the matchups. So I do have Casey. He does. He has Swift in there. It'll be interesting to see if he plays.
Oh, that's huge for you. That's huge for you.
That's a huge one. That probably decides this week.
Yeah.
Calling it. Swift goes in. I think you move.
That gives you a stud back if he's out, and potentially changes your last flex if he's not.
Yeah. So
huge. Got to be watching the injury report on that one.
We will see what happens. Other than that, I mean, I need
Puka too. We're watching the injury report on Puka. He's had a real rough year of staying healthy.
Yeah.
He's a rib injury now. Plus, he's got other ankle injury.
Limited though.
I mean, I think he's going to play, but I don't know if he's going to be at 100%.
And I don't think you have a choice but to play him. It's not, if he's in the lineup, you play him.
Yeah, I wish I had Rice, but
I got you.
Kamal, you got four guys, 5 guys on Thursday, Sunday night, or Monday night. I just know how much you love that. Thought you want to know.
Nice Thursday game for you, Matt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Watch it on time.
Sutton and Janidi, as Mike likes to say, on a Thursday night.
Janidi.
I don't like that. I don't like that matchup for him.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, Scarana, you have Colin, as you were saying, you're projected to win by 7 points or so.
He's catching me on an interesting buy. I'm rolling with the Caleb Williams, who, you could see that 1 week gets the 42, and then you go by the next 3, and he looks just absolutely awful.
Do we? Well, he does not have a kicker in yet.
Yeah,
He also has Eagles QB out, Giants QB in.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Do we think he's set his lineup, or he hasn't said it yet?
I'm going to go with the no kicker. He hasn't said it.
I'm going to go
yet.
no kicker. He hasn't done it. And granted,
I'm also going to go ahead and say the Twins may be keeping him busy.
and he doesn't have a chance. The waiver wire hasn't come yet. So, I mean, I get it.
But, I mean, Green Bay is a tough defense.
All right.
And Dart's been putting up numbers. Yeah,
I don't know. I would still play the Eagles. But it's cool. It's an interesting choice. I like
Giants QB ranked higher than Eagles QB.
Yeah, he's projected for more points. I get it.
That's weird, though. Now, Giants QB is not at a bye, so got to be fair.
Now, I would also wonder if he would play Fannin over Pitts.
Fannon's been pretty good. Pitts has been
pretty good
too.
Pitts has been
better.
Good playing Indy.
Yeah, I mean they're both kind of right in the same world. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I agree with that.
All right, Joel and Parker take on Jake. Jake's projected to win, although
Joel and Parker have not
set their team.
Not set their team.
Yep.
But it looks like
I think my guess would be Shaheed and Kincaid go into those two.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But then they also may make I don't know if they're going to make a move or anything. McLaughlin, Eagles defense could be shifted in for Santos and the Ravens. And then they might bench Keon too, I'd have to think.
The Ravens are projected much higher than them, and they're playing Minnesota, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like either matchup there.
Yeah.
Minnesota at home is a tough one.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's an interesting one. But it won't be what's being projected here.
Jake has no T. Higgins and does have Kamara on his bench.
Yep.
So he set his lineup.
He put Loveland in. Ooh, interesting.
Ooh, very interesting one.
Had not scored more than 7 points before last week.
But, I mean, that last play was awesome.
It was, but, let's hear that again. Had not scored more than 7 points until last week.
All right,
then all of a sudden...
Go on.
I like a little roll on the dice. I like it.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead. Come on, sorry.
Right. JT, you are playing the Michael Thomas. You're projected to win 141 to 130.
Sure.
Now he has Godwin in, and he has Mbuka in. Mbuka has no injury designation, but
I play the Tampa Bay quarterback to try and offset those two guys?
Interesting. Especially coming off a bye week, maybe.
Or do I stick with the Patriots and just assume that they're in better shape?
Interesting that they're playing each other as well.
Well,
Patriots lost booty, maybe?
They're both good defenses.
Yeah. But Ibuka and Godwin are better than whatever Patriots have.
Yeah, they
Diggs
are.
And Pop Douglas.
I mean, he's only played one game with Godwin and Ibuka.
Well, yeah, and probably no games with the three. Freaking Mike Evans.
Yeah.
He's had so many good years in a row that it was just bound to happen at some point.
I'm so glad the first time I've ever had him is when it happened.
Yeah, right when he.
But
yeah, and what do we think about this game? Just kind of jockeying for points and everything like that.
Yeah. Nobody cares about the win, I'll tell you that.
So we can't call it game of the week.
You are right. I mean, even though you're missing Lamb, hitting them without Chase or Brown,
big.
Great.
Oh, big time. Yeah. I mean, the Chase Lamb thing, similar, but I don't lose anybody like Brown. So
I'm just going to look at it right now, and we're just going to talk about it. But Colin and I are essentially playing for, if the playoffs were to end today, bye week. Got to be the game of
Yes.
the week. Got to be the
Yeah.
game of the week.
But if Casey loses, that could be interesting for it
They
too.
could. They would change it. It would change it.
And then the big last matchup, which I believe Brian was referring to here with an agreement that seems to have already been on the table.
Yep. Rachel is projected to beat Brian 150 to 133.
This has potential game of the week too. I'm gonna have to think about this one. By the end of the show,
Mike,
I'll tell you.
There's only 5 games, buddy. You just potentially anointed 3 to 4 of them. That's game of the week.
Game of the week.
Rachel is sitting Adunze
Ooh.
going against the Giants.
She doesn't have any bye this week at all.
She has Javonte
Oh,
Williams.
Javonte Williams. Yep, see it right now. Yep,
Yeah, it's a big one.
it's a big one.
And big one for Brian too. Because somehow like 17 of his tight ends are on a bye.
It's kind of funny they picked them all up, and now they're all there together.
But you know what? Brian has a lot of late Sunday games and 2 big Monday night.
You're saying you think it's going to come down to that one?
Who is
Potentially.
the Monday night? Oh, it is the Eagles game. Oh, interesting. Wow.
And I better have it. Maron. YouTube TV. You guys got to do better. We pay all this money for the Sunday ticket, and I don't even get to watch Monday Night Football. It's ridiculous.
Rachel has a big Thursday night. Broncos defense and Bowers. That'll be very interesting.
Interesting divisional matchup. Love it. In Denver.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how she sits Adunze for Tracy, but she's got a better record, so maybe she knows what she's doing.
I think she's worried about a Dunze 0 for sure. Tracy would make me nervous as well. I'm sure she's probably not fully decided.
I mean, it's your last one.
It's also Franklin could be a position play for her.
Also on a Thursday, just keeping it interesting.
Depending on the Bucky Irving news, Rashad White, like there are other options.
There you are.
Although I do think Irving's going to play, which is big for Brian. That's a big switch, right? Doesn't he have Irving? He sure does.
Yep.
That's the it's a little better players, but that's the Swift Monangai move right there because
just to clarify, because I just like to look it up, Bucky Irving did not practice today.
Yeah, still on track.
And
to
that swings over to my cousin then.
Yeah.
If White goes in, I think if White goes in, I think you take out Tracy for sure. Maybe Montgomery I don't know. It's tough. She has some decisions to make.
The Irving thing will be really interesting because he was supposed to practice coming out of the bye. So the fact that he didn't today might be more indicative than I thought.
Yeah.
That could be huge for Rachel. I bet Tracy slides out right away and Rashad White goes in.
But then Adunze stays in over Montgomery. I got it. Listen, when they put up a goose egg, I get it.
Yeah,
almost want to punch.
All right,
gentlemen.
Anything?
Got nothing for you guys.
Wow, big block of us. Doesn't even have anything hot.
No, other than just a quick go Bills. We seem to bring it one week, lose another week. But I did wear my stuff, and I said I'd wear it even if they lost, and I would have. So,
go Bills for sure. Keep running the ball
for sure. Go Bills.
All right, guys.
All right, gentlemen.
And we will see you.
And this fake song that you guys are supposedly playing, and Matt inserts later. They're running game on
Wednesday, 9 o'clock on YouTube and Spotify.
Just keep on talking, Mike. It's all right.
Yeah, it's like when a rapper adds a guest verse.
It's a way to get you to stop. Song's playing there.
This is the 90s remix.
If you're still watching, comment if you can hear the song.
9 o'clock on YouTube and Spotify.
Oh man, comments are rolling in, Mike. You just can't see them. It's kind of like hearing the song.
Fantasy Trail, kickers are back, quarterbacks in the lead. Fantasy Trail,
All right,
join us every
All right,
Wednesday,
fellas.
9 o'clock
I'm out.
on YouTube.